Hey guys, it's Jason from Prodogz Dog Training. Hey, this morning I am going to do a quick video on using my indirect reward. I'm teaching Mordecai to call me into play. What I mean by call me into play is because of my situation, it's very difficult for a lot of times for me to get my dogs to initiate engagement, initiate play, unless a lot of times, or a lot of people will start by like moving the toy around, or will maybe figure out a way to build drive with the dog in order to initiate play. So one of the things I do is I teach my dog how to basically call me into play, how to initiate play through me. What I mean by that, in a minute I'm going to release Mordecai. He's on his perch over there. I'm going to release him, and I'm going to wait for him to give me something more than eye contact or something more than some audible cue. I'm waiting for him to maybe, come up and push me, come up and, shove me in the gut or something like that. Something in order to teach him to basically say, hey, Dad, I want to play, I want to initiate this. And if you're wondering, well, wait a minute, why is this important? This is important for a couple different reasons. One, it's important because I want my dogs to work harder for me than me work for them. One of the things I've learned through over the years with working with dogs and people is a lot of times people are working harder for their dogs. In other words, they're always trying to initiate play. They're always trying to get the dog engaged. In the beginning stages, that's great, that's fine. But later down the road, we really want the dog to give us more than we give us, or give them. Sorry, we want the dog to give us more than we give them. So if you find that when you go out with your dog and let's say you're in a neutral environment is an environment that they have been on on a regular basis, like say your training field or a park that you use on a regular basis, and you go there and you're having to work for your dog's attention, you're having to work for your dog's engagement, you're having to work for the dog to want to play with you. Okay, so you're working harder for the dog than the dog's working for you. I want to reach the point where I go somewhere where the dog is like all over me, ready to play, ready to train. They're just got this attitude, this worth ethic that they are ready to do something. Okay, so in that point, the dog is working harder for me than I'm working for him. So this is something that has been established as an anchored behavior with Mordecai, but it's something that I'm going to review a little bit today, go over with him because I haven't done it in a little while, just to kind of go over what I'm going to do, the process. Mordecai is waiting on the perch for me. My indirect reward is on the ground. My indirect reward is a gapai. It's a large, it's a large kind of almost basketball-shaped dog tug that I'm going to be using. It's going to be on the ground, and let's see how he does and go from there. Hold on. Get it! Oh! Good. Get it! Oh! Get it! Oh, there it is. Oh, get it! Good job. Oh. Get it! Hands. No. Out. Hands. Out. Good. Leave it. Free. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Oh, very nice. Get it. Up. Down. Free. Oh, very nice. Ah, fooey that. No. No. Out. Leave it. Good. Free. Good. Voice. Get it. Good. Out. Please. Please. All right, so let's kind of go over what I saw and what Mordecai offered. So in the beginning stages, I didn't reward him for the first initial interactions with me. In other words, he offered the heel position and kind of kept pushing me in the heel. Heel is kind of his default. In other words, anytime there's a problem that he's trying to figure out, he'll usually offer, and most dogs offer, the most anchored behavior that they feel is going to get them a reward. So I did not reward him for that because that's not really what I wanted. I wasn't trying to call him into heel. I just wanted him to initiate play. And usually it's he jumps on me, or a couple times you saw there, he kind of nudged me in the gut. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but hey, I don't mind it. I'll take one for the team, and if it helps my dog, I'll do it. And then he did really good. A couple times he offered it, he pushed it into my lap, which I really like. I told him good, which is a duration word, just tells him, hey, keep doing that. He already had the toy, so I couldn't really give him my terminal marker because he already had the toy. But I really wanted to capture that he was pushing it into me. And then a couple times towards the end, I told him to out. And he kept picking it up and pushing it into me. So it kind of got a little bit muddled there about the learning curve and really what my expectation was for him. But actually towards the end, we did a little bit obedience, and you saw I was able to send him to the indirect reward. You see there wasn't much of a conflict when we did a couple steps of healing there because he already knew that in order to get to the indirect reward, he has to go through me first. So this is a concept I really like to instill with my young dogs and throughout their whole entire life. If you're not into competitive obedience and you're wondering, well, how can I use this? Or, how can this benefit me? This can benefit you for a couple different reasons. One, overall, in my opinion, this will help your obedience. Anytime the dog is working harder for you throughout his life, he's going to have this concept of wanting to please you and wanting to do what he can for you instead of you working for him. It's a fun game to teach the dog to initiate play. It's a fun game to teach your dog. A lot of times when you say, where's the toy, the dog will eagerly go find the toy and want to bring it to you. This also helps with play for the dog to have the strong desire to bring you back toys when you throw them. One of the conflicts I see a lot of times when people work with their dogs is they'll throw the toy, the dog will go get the toy, and then it'll bring it, somewhere and go lay down and chew on it, and the person has to try to coax the dog's back. Or a lot of times what happens is the person goes and they take the toy from the dog. And the moment you take the toy from the dog, you're kind of ruining that relationship between you, the dog, and the toy. So it's one of those things where if the dog can want to bring you the toy and has a strong desire to bring you the toy and wants to interact with you with the toy, man, those are skill sets that you can use throughout the dog's entire life, not just in training. So anyways, hey guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you. You can drop me a message here on Facebook, or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can send me a quick message on YouTube. Visit my website, engageyourdog.com. If you're on Facebook, if you can hit that like button, subscribe to my Facebook page. If you're on YouTube and you're watching this on YouTube, if you could hit that like button and subscribe to my channel, that'd be awesome. So thank you guys for tuning in, and happy training.